It's quite the vibe. What is that noise? I don't know if I've ever really played Atari.
What's happening?
This is pretty good.
Oh my god. Chase it.
Okay. Chase it. Oh,
Are you chasing it?
You gotta chase it. Give me that. I've never worn snowshoes before. Are we gonna die? Look at that dam. It's a cute tree. Okay, this is getting scary.
Why are we here?
We are here. We found out recently, as we looked at the calendar, that Chase Bliss has existed for 10 years. Things have been so nuts lately. It seemed like maybe it'd be a good idea to just isolate ourselves for a few days. I just fell. Step back and reflect on what this all means and where do we go from here. And I think that's it.
Do you know what we're doing?
I mean, I just assume we're gonna have a conversation and then we're gonna do zany little shit every once in a while.
You're wrong.
Really?
Yep.
What the f are we gonna do? Is there a creepy little yellow slide over there? Might want to try that one out. Ha! That was fun.
We'll just begin, yeah? All right. Follow me. Come on out. Got a nice little cup of coffee for you here. Turn in this way. Turn towards the sound of my voice. Remove your hat. So, made you a little nest of everything you've ever made. You got a guitar plugged in and ready. And we're gonna take a tour.
All right.
Through all of it.
Oh my gosh. This is an old friend. The first thing I made. It just represents, like, just really going for it, you know? I have so many memories of, like, the first time I drilled out an enclosure and, like, the motherboard fit in. Such a good feeling. And just like how, like, rewarding and fun and horrible and just exciting that was to just make something that wasn't there. This pedal, more than anything else in the line, is kind of a clone. I remember one conversation I had with Jamie Stillman, an Earthquaker, and I was like feeling kind of bad about Wombtone. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, it's like kind of a clone. He's like, dude, you just adding your Maju shape LFO, like that totally changes the sound. And he's right. He thought I was a little crazy. I didn't know that phasers like weren't a big selling effect. I think the first Wombtone Mark I is actually the most limited of pretty much anything we've ever made, because I think there's only like 300.
What's up with Gravitas? Was Gravitas when you went full-time?
Yeah, it felt very real at this point. If I failed, I failed, you know? But I didn't want to have any regrets. Sometimes you gotta just, if you think you gotta jump, you just gotta jump or something. This is kind of a variation, I think, of what my favorite thing is. I have the depth all the way up, I have harmonic and stand and tremolo together, and then sway all to the right, which for the Maju shape, it makes it kind of like this swell in, like an auto swell. This is a chord progression of a song I wrote. Woo!
How do you use Spectre?
Gosh, that is a crazy question because I've not used it in so long. I have such a weird relationship with this pedal. I feel like I was sort of convinced it was bad. It's so weird because it's like you have to trust yourself, you have to trust your taste, but there's a balance there, I think. You know, you have to listen to what other people are saying too. For the people that love it, they deeply love it. It's frustrating that it's so sought after now, but also like really gratifying and validating, I think, that there's people out there that really think this is cool. And that makes me feel good. I haven't played the blue version in a long time. I've played the red and I play Thermae all the time, but the blue version is a little different in a way that is both very, very cool, but can be a little frustrating at times. It did pretty well, but the problem was it was so finicky, you know? Until we got through, like, I want to say like 500 to maybe even 1,000, we didn't really have the calibration procedure right. So at one point, I issued like this blanket declaration. I think I was like, if you have a serial number of Tonal Recall under 1,000 and you don't think it sounds good, like send it to us because we really have the calibration figured out. I just didn't realize or have an appreciation for how much variability can happen on certain analog circuits where certain parts. This pedal will always just make me happy because it was fun. It was a big moment for Chase Bliss having an analog delay available. I think it just looks cool. So it's a good memory for me.
Ayahuasca was a bit of a weird one, right? Because it wasn't a Chase Bliss product.
Yeah, I can't believe I did it. Like, it just seems, it seems like these days I more just want to avoid too much like controversy, kind of, you know. And there's just a lot of crazy decisions in retrospect, you know. It was just sort of a fun side project with a friend. This is fun. I love you, buddy. One of the reasons Brothers sucks, but it also is cool, is that most overdrives and distortions do some low cut before it starts to distort and saturate the signal because it sounds good. But with Brothers, I you know, in my never-ending quest to be different, I left a lot of those sub frequencies in there. I've heard from a lot of bass guitarists that Brothers is like their favorite thing, probably because it's designed in that sort of unusual way. You know, I feel a little silly about it in a way, but I don't know. I feel like so much of the success of Chase Bliss has come from just like happenstance and exploration and, you know, things that were out of my control and not necessarily my intent, and cool things that happen. And I think that could just be another example of one of them. Low pass filters are so pretty. And I think the one in Condor is a good one. And I feel good because I feel like it's the most me that I think a filter possibly can be, if that makes any sense at all. It's just a little funky and weird, but in a way that I think is really nice.
Everyone that was working at Chase Bliss at the time did not like the design decisions.
Yeah, including you. I don't know why, I'm just like, it's gotta have a bird on it. I'm proud of it. It's really fun revisiting it.
I think of Thermae as your way of like finding your personal limits of being creative within analog.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I felt like for me personally, for my skill set, not saying it can't be done, obviously, but I wanted to get into some of the weirder stuff, and this felt like as far as I could take it in the analog realm.
You use Thermae quite a bit.
Yeah. And I usually just use it as an normal analog delay, and then sometimes I'll use step mode to give it that pitch jump, but I don't use the sequencer, really. But it's fun, I should more, as I just learned.
We're learning a lot today.
We are, it's an educational day.
Just heat and eat.
For a moment, he lay on the ballroom floor.
Oh no. Nope.
That was his own fault. Alien's scary. What pedal's next?
Dark World, first digital pedal. It sounds like by this time you were ready. It wasn't like an agonizing choice.
It was a little bit. I think it was, you know, I was kind of looking at the pedal lineup at the time. A pretty glaring omission is reverb. I did think about, you know, maybe doing some kind of a external tube spring reverb thing, but I reached the point where I realized that I was trying to make it analog at the expense of something useful, basically, you know?
I always really liked this spilling thing here where you could play a spring and then have it just like flow through something impossible on the way out. So it's like you have this two-room sensation, but not only that, it's like you're playing a sound in one room and then it goes into the other room and then you hear it. And there's something bizarre about that idea.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like if we had the spring. And just, you know, running it into, so I do world in to dark.
Sounds so good to me.
It's ridiculous, but we were working a lot together at this time because we were working on Blooper development, but this is the first like really knobs concept release.
Yes. I remember feeling with Mood that it was like this impossibly smooth collaboration where there's like 9 different people's ideas in there in a meaningful way, like in a genuine way, and there was very little like ownership or ego or struggle. It was just like, that'll be good, And then suddenly there was this pedal that shocked everybody.
Yeah. It just felt like it had no business being as good as it was, but it just was, and it is. You know, out of all the pedals here, if I could only bring one somewhere, I would bring this one.
Got him. That actually makes me really happy to hear. I think all of us at various points of this project thought it wasn't possible.
Yeah, there was definitely challenges that came up that legitimately didn't know if we could overcome.
With Blooper, the whole thing was to give people a level of control over putting sound in is like step one, and then you can do all this stuff with it. But then you have to anticipate people's choices, because someone can do something crazy we don't think about, and then the pedal will break.
This pedal broke so many times. It's one of those moments in life, though, where I feel like Blooper development was so stressful that I draw strength from it now, where I'm like, well, at least it's not like we're developing Blooper, you know, because it was just very hard.
Yeah, it's the pedal I use the most by far.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a theme to your gingerbread house?
If there was a theme, it was chaos.
Living in an edible house is chaos, no matter what.
This is the first automaton pedal. The biggest, most important moment, I think, was when Charlie came on board. I needed help with the motor control. I was in over my head, and he came in and just really saved the day. This is a collaboration with Chris Benson. I love his circuits and his ear, and I just felt like that would be such a good partner for this. Because we were introducing technology that was weird, it was nice to be able to partner with someone who's so well respected for tone.
What's your favorite thing about Chris Benson?
His humility and honesty. I guess that's two things. This one, I guess technically, if you want to say if it gets you, it's just always on. So I guess I use this more than any other pedal because it's never off. Okay, so if I'm just like playing a note and letting it ring out. You know, that's fun. Yeah, I already had it designed in my head, pretty much. And Zach was just like, just do it. I don't know if I even had to explain it to him, or if he was just like, no, just do what you want, do what you think. This is another one too, where it's like, it's affected by heat, and you know, so there's a human element there, where it's like, you know, maybe if we were in someone else's house, or, you know, we'd pick up a radio station and sound different, and right now in this moment it sounds this way. And I always think there's some magic in that. Maybe I'm silly and sentimental. Got a text from my old friend Terry at Maris. Picture of a Lexicon 224. You can see the faders. And he said, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" The story with the name is that we found that we both shared an affinity for sci-fi films, you know, of yesteryear. And one of them that they liked in particular that I hadn't seen before was THX 1138, is it? Yeah. And it kind of has this like white futuristic aesthetic. I liked everything about that. The Lexicon 224 came out in 1978, and CXM kind of stands for Chase Bliss, and Maris follows the same naming structure as the movie.
habit was a good test of your trust.
Yep.
Because it is just weirder, and I just remember the first times you were playing it. I think the first time you played it, you said it was the funnest bell you ever.
It was fun to actually have that experience. At that point, it was really pretty far along before I really spent any time with it, and just to know like these guys are doing some interesting stuff. You know, you and Charlie.
I've never asked you this before. Honest answer. When you first saw the artwork, were you like, damn, that's too much?
I'm actually still not crazy about it, but it's really cool. I mean, it is wild. It was a scary thing to do. You know, it's loud. What do you think of the art?
Oh, I really like it.
Okay. Is it like, this is, yeah.
Because I think it indicates what you're about to experience.
Yeah, you're right. We did it!
How cool is it that Tom works at Chase Bliss now?
Honestly, as high of an opinion that I had of him when he joined up, I had no idea how good of an engineer he actually is. I feel like I've embraced my role as like the gatherer of cool, talented folk, you know, and just trying to keep people fulfilled and happy. Tom, he's a really cool, talented, nice, wonderful person. And this is just a beautiful piece of work here. Wharf.
The day you put out Warp Vinyl, how would that Joel feel about all this?
That Joel would not believe it. I don't think so. Being 100% honest, it is like, it means the world to me. I love it. I love running the company. It's way better than I ever thought it could be possible. I think if we keep being honest with ourselves and doing what feels true to us and good to us and what's fulfilling, and we have some adventures on the way, we can't lose. That's what I hope.
Othine.
Clate. Late. Eyelet. Killitet. Oozlog.
Okay.